Okay, just waiting notification. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this evening. We have an incredible guest with us, one who's going to give us some amazing information as well as inspiration, and that is none other than Student Minister Salaam Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam, sir.
Yes, sir. This means a lot to myself, my family, and the viewing audience of the People's Podcast.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, the first question, and my sister sends agreement, people are showing you love all across the country. Praise be to Allah. Thank you all for watching. I can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. What we want to get into this evening, sir, is how did you go from how did you go from the 5% nation to the Nation of Islam? How was that transition transpire?
First, let me thank Allah, who came to us in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, for raising up the most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and Honorable Elijah Muhammad raising up for us today, the Honorable Minister Lord Farrakhan.
Yes,
I'd like to greet all who are looking at this, listening to and looking at this podcast in the universe of greetings of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, sir.
I want to also thank you, my brother, for allowing me to be on this podcast, the People Podcast. Let me say that as a young man at the age of 14 years old in Harlem, which was being ravished by drugs, crime, and it's still that way today in Harlem, I heard the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the 5%ers, who was headed by a man by the name of Clarence 13X. When I got the teachings at the age of 14, I was given basic knowledge of the teachings. I was given the student enrollment. I was also given the supreme alphabets. They was teaching us that different alphabets mean different meaning, like A mean Allah, B mean born, C mean see. And I was given supreme mathematics. While I was studying the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under the 5%ers, I knew that the teachings came from the Nation of Islam. But I wasn't well abreast to the Nation of Islam, but I studied under the 5% nation. And that teaching lasted me from 1964 to 1971. In 1971, I was incarcerated in a prison upstate. And during my incarceration, over the radio, they allowed the Honorable Elijah Muhammad lecture to come over the radio. And when I heard that lecture, it began my acceptance of the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad under his leadership. Praise be to Allah. That's how I came into the teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, through the 5%ers. And when I heard his lecture for the first time in my life, I accepted his teachings in 1971.
All praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. And when you're in prison, and was this like a special day, or did they just usually let the messenger be played in prison in New York? In New York?
No, on this day, it was strange to us was they never let the Honorable Elijah Muhammad lecture come over the radio. But I guess it was meant for me to hear it. But they allowed it to come over the radio, and I listened to him attentively. He was talking about we must educate, elevate, and teach our Black women. And I heard that lecture, and after I finished listening to him for about almost 2 hours, I wrote my sister and told her to send me a message to the Black man and how to eat to live. And like 2-3 weeks later, I received those books from my sister, and that started my journey on the life-giving teaching of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Beautiful, yes, sir. And what year were you released from prison, sir?
Well, I was released in 1972. But you know, one thing about coming out of prison, if you don't fully is strong in your faith, this world will pull on you like it did me. And it pulled on me every time I would go to prison from 1971 to 1981. When I get out of prison, I would be pulled back in this world, you know? But in 1981, I got arrested again. And when I got arrested, I got 10 to 20 years. And on that bit there, that changed my life. It was like a metamorphosis. My life changed for the betterment of myself. I got rid of all the weaknesses that kept me going back and forth to jail, you know, getting involved with crime and drugs and stealing and robbing. But from 1981 to 1980 to 91, I changed my life. But what we say, yes, praise be to Allah, I was what you call a jailhouse Muslim. A jailhouse Muslim is a man that when he's in prison, he can teach, he can act, but when he come home, he becomes like a nigger again. Well, I was a jailhouse Muslim from 1971 to 1981. But when I came out of prison in 1991 and came straight to the mosque, my life was changed. And I've been in the nation since 1991 up until this very day. Praise be to Allah.
All praises to Allah. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Brother Minister.
Yes, sir.
And what advice would you give, or do you give, to the young generation who may think that going to prison is a rite of passage or something that they have to go through? Is there anything that you can tell us that can maybe prevent someone from wanting to go to prison?
Well, we may have people who may think like that, but I would tell a young man or a young woman, that's not the right kind of thoughts to possess, because prison is hell, especially when you get into the upstate New York prisons, where when you get a chance to meet some real devils. You know, they will treat you like you an animal. And I tell any youth, don't even think like that. As a matter of fact, change your thinking. And if you change your thinking, you'll change your behavior. So I would tell the children, don't even think like that, because prison is not a place to go to.
All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. And people are showing you love all across the country. And I can't wait to put this on YouTube as well. My next question for you, sir, is the importance of, you sent me a lot of pictures of your wife. How important is being married been to your development?
Well, brother, let me say, I want to thank Allah so much for my wife, because prior to me catching that 10 to 20 years, I had just got married 5 months prior. 20 years, but I had a strong wife. I had a strong Muslim woman in my life. And she stayed with her brother the whole 10 years. And I thank Allah so much for her. And we're still together today, 43 years later. Praise be to Allah.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. What did you say to her? Let us know, brother, because some of us, we can't keep a woman when we're not in jail. So what did you say to her that helped, to help her stay with you for 10 years while you were in prison,
Well, let me just say this, prior to me meeting my wife, I met my wife after I got out of prison in 1979 on a bid that I was serving. I was serving 2.5 to 5 years for armed robbery. When I got out of prison in 1979, I met my wife. When I met my wife, I began to teach her the teaching of Most Hon Elijah Muhammad. And my wife used to listen to me very closely. And one thing I admire about my wife, when I first met her, and I'll start telling her about pork, that is no good for you, she immediately stopped. It wasn't hard for her to stop eating pork. And we began to learn how to pray. And everything came after that. She became a believer. And in 1980, I took her to the mosque. During that time, there was a brother that was acting as a minister. His name was Minister Linwood, also known today as Minister Kareem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I took my wife to the mosque. We was at the Harlem State Office building on 125th Street. That's where they was having the classes at. The services. My wife accepted the teachings back then. But immediately right after that, I got arrested again, and I got 20 years, and she stuck with me on that bid. And when I came home in 1991, I came to the mosque, and I've been in the mosque ever since. My wife and I have been in the mosque. Praise be to Allah.
All praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, Brother Minister Salaam, I have a question for you. I often look at movies and televisions from different time periods, and I wonder, right now, if you commit a crime, there's cameras, there's Wi-Fi, there's phones and things of this nature. How were you all getting caught committing crimes back in the day where technology wasn't as advanced as it is now? Like, how were you getting caught?
Say that again.
How were you getting caught when you were committing crimes back in the day when there wasn't like the cameras and things like that? Like, how did they catch you?
Well, sometimes you'll get caught by somebody snitching on you. They was telling the truth about you. They call it snitching, but it's really telling the truth about you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes the police will be in the area when you commit a crime.
Mm.
I used to stick up. I used to do armed robberies. And it was just unfortunately when I would come out the place sticking up something, the police would just be there, and that's how I would get arrested. And sometimes when I come out of a place with an armed robbery and jump in the vehicle to get away, the police would chase me, and I would eventually get arrested by other police chasing me. But that's how I got arrested. But today they got cameras all over, so they don't have to catch you today. They can take your picture and come to your house tonight and pick you up.
Exactly.
Somebody can identify who you are.
Yes, sir. That's a fact. Praise be to Allah. People saying teach. Go ahead, Brother Minister. Excellent. All right. My next question for you, and thank everybody who continues to watch the People's Podcast and show love to our brother. How did you become a chaplain?
Well, in 1994, 8 of our brothers in the New York State prison submitted a motion in the federal courts to have the Nation of Islam teachings established in the New York State prisons. They was going to trial. During that time, there was a minister in Muhammad Mosque number 7 named Minister Conrad Muhammad. Mm. The courts contact Muhammad Mosque and said, listen, we need somebody to come to the courts to testify on behalf of these 8 brothers who said they followed the teaching of Most Hon Elijah Muhammad in prison. Minister Conrad asked me to go down to the courts, and during the trial, they questioned us on the teachings. And the law blessed me to represent the Nation of Islam during the trial. And we won the trial. And a few months after that, they called Muhammad Mosque number 7 and asked Minister Conrad that we want to hire a minister from the Nation of Islam to become the first chaplain for the Nation of Islam. I mean, the chaplain for the Nation of Islam. Praise be to Allah. Brother Conrad took my name to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan approved for me to go in as a chaplain. Mm. And I got hired in July 1995. And when I got hired, I had the capacity to cover 60 prisons. For 3.5 years, I traveled throughout the whole entire state of New York, going from prison to prison, establishing classes and services for the brothers who say they followed the teachings of the Most Hon Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. Yes, sir. Well, Brother Minister, I wanted to ask you about that. First of all, I want to thank you on behalf of myself, my family, and the viewing audience for your sacrifice and the sacrifice of your family. How were you able to keep your spirit and energy up when you're seeing our people in that condition and you're traveling through all of that? How were you able to keep the spirit? How were you able to do that? Brother, for me, it was highly elated for me to do that, because here's a man who did 10, 12, 14 years in prison. I knew how it was when I was locked up, how I was being treated. When I came back as a chaplain, it was so enthused for me to go back in. I couldn't wait to go back in, to teach what I believed in, to teach what I had faith in. And when I went back in, brother, it was joyful for me to do so. And many times I spoke to 20, 40, 50, 100 brothers at a time, sharing the teaching of Most Hon Elijah Muhammad under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. And I did that for 13 years, and all praise is due to Allah. Now we have other chaplains working for the Department of Correction. Praise be to Allah, under the guidance of the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. Beautiful. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Okay, great. And people are showing you so much love in the comments. Thank you all very much. Hold on 1 second. Yes, sir. And if someone would like to go into the work of being a chaplain, what advice would you give us? Is that when you go into the prison as a chaplain or as a volunteer, know that you're going to feel the pain and suffering of our people who are incarcerated. But you have to rise above your emotions into the spirit and mind of God to be able to reach our brothers. You know, our teachings, the Most Hon Elijah Muhammad teachings, as seen and demonstrated by the Honorable Minister Farrakhan, is charged with light, life, and power. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir. And when we allow that teaching to absorb within us, what it does, it illuminates within us that power, that light, and that life. So when we talk to our brothers, they not only can hear what we're saying to them, but they can feel it, they can experience it, because it comes with life, and power. Praise be to Allah. So when I ask everybody that go inside, be inspired from the teaching that we have to share with our brothers and sisters in prison. And you know, you're gonna feel them, you're gonna feel their pain, they're gonna tell you all kinds of things about their life, but you cannot get caught up in the emotions of, you gotta rise above into the thinking and spirit of God.
All praises to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Excellent. And thank you all who continue to watch and support our brother Minister Salaam. Yes, sir. And people are showing you love all across the country, of course, and we're grateful for that. My next question for you, sir, is your inventions. You have invented many inventions, but can you tell us about some of them?
Well, let me show you how it started. In 1985, when I was serving that 10 to 20 years, I got it in 1982. I ran into an older brother. He was about 45, 50 years old, and he was an inventor. He shared with me one of his ideas about how he can make a boat that can operate, that can be charged by the water of the ocean. I thought he was like, wow, what kind of boat that can be charged by water? You know, but he inspired me to come up with an idea. And I came up with an idea and I shared it with my wife. It was a portable patio light attachment, which is the light fixture. I'll share it to you right here. You see this? It's called the shower light.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's a portable patio light fixture that clamps onto the central pole of patio umbrellas. When you clamp this onto the patio umbrella, it lights up. This was in 1999. I flew to Taiwan to have it made by a manufacturer in Taiwan, and I was selling them in the beginning, but they reneged on their contract, and I put it down to pursue another idea. That other idea is called an anti-theft vehicle alarm system. I believe I was sharing it with you last few months ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Device that you put in your car. If anybody break into your vehicle, you'll get it in real time on your cell phone, your smartphone, your iPad, your desktop computer, and you can look into your vehicle and you can cut off the engine, you can lock the doors, and you can talk to the person. Praise be to Allah. That idea will be coming out in a few months. It's supposed to came out last February, but it's been a holdback on the manufacturing. But you can go to our website. It's called autoringus.com. Autoring.us. That's known as the auto ring device. We also have another invention. It's called a knuckle splasher. It's really a water gun, but it's made on your arm. You wear it like a glove. And when you put the device on your hand, you can squirt it. It's called knuckle splasher. The water come out from your hand like Spider-Man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We have the patent on that, but we haven't put that on the market yet. And the last invention, oh praise it, the last invention is a watch, what I'm wearing right now. It's a monitor device, but it's really an upgrade of the monitor ankle bracelet. You ever see people on parole wear the ankle bracelet?
Of course.
The ankle bracelet is really an inhumane device that they put on their foot. But a partner of mine, he invented it. I'm promoting it for him. It's now you can wear a watch that have video features, so the parole officer or the court supervision can see the person in real time and talk to the person and see where the person at through GPS. So this is a monitor device. It comes in two styles. The other style comes without a lock wristband, but it comes with an ordinary band like what I'm wearing right here for senior citizens who suffer from Alzheimer's. You know, now you can see your parents or your grandparents in real time, know where they're at through GPS. And right now, a lot of medical alert companies is using the device they call on You know that thing I press? It's like a knob you press on your chest.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You see that commercial where I'm falling, I need help?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But now they don't need that. They can wear our watch, and the call center can see where you at, and they can talk to you in real time. So this device will be on the market in a couple of months. We're upgrading it to 5G. Praise be to Allah. You can go to our website and you can see a video presentation of my wife and I demonstrating the watch. It's called ohanaenterprises.com.
Man, this is next level, man. It's the next level. And people are saying, wow. My sister Mimi said, that's awesome. And I want to thank you. Ramesh, we have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast this month. And I want to thank everybody who continues to show love all across the country to the People's Podcast. And Brother Minister, once you become famous, rich and famous, can you please not forget about the People's Podcast?
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. I want to thank you. And Sister Audrey from Chicago says, brilliance. This is what we like to see. This is the reason, one of the reasons I do the podcast, so that we can share
yes,
the amazing man, the genius of the believers all across the country. Thanks to everyone who's a sponsor and or donor to the People's Podcast. If you'd like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash app the People's Podcast. My brother Rashad, Street Premier Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me children's book, coloring book, and now Spanish book. All three available on Amazon. My sister Naima, Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country, right here in the studio of Atlanta, Georgia. We love our tiny dancers. Raw Communications. If you're working on a book and you need copy editing, project management, content development, or media relations, please reach out to Raw Communications. Urban Fashion Guides, Urban Streetwear for men and boys, 314-329-6009. He'll keep you dressed in the best of fashion, dripping in high-end clothes. Student Minister Robert L. Muhammad, conflict mediation, squashing the beef throughout the Southwest region. His wife, Sister Fudia Muhammad, Children of the Most High, giving birth to a God in the science of child rearing. Please get her book. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you anywhere in the country. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse, both of which are available on Amazon. Right back to our amazing, not just student minister and chaplain, but an inventor. All praises due to Allah. Yes, sir. My next question for you, sir, is, you said you're a great-grandfather.
Yes, sir.
How has being a great-grandfather impacted you, sir?
Well, it impacted my wife and I because when we received her 6 years ago, it was the highlight of our life. And we was blessed, all praises due to Allah. We was blessed to be able to be there in her young life when she was like 2 days old. And my grandson and his girlfriend, they allow us to really practically raise the child. We raised the child for about 10 months, and then her mother moved down to Florida. But we was elated to have our first great-grandchild. We was elated to have our first grandson. He's now a father. You know, he's 28 years old. So I feel honored. I thank Allah, my wife and I thank Allah so much to be able to see a great-grandchild. There's a lot of children in the world don't even know their parents, more or less their grandparents.
That's right.
And to know your great-grandparents, that's a blessing. Praise be to Allah. That is a blessing.
Yes, sir. That's a fact for sure. Okay, my next question I have for you, sir, is you speak often of your wife. What was it in her that you saw that made you be like, this is the one?
Well, you know, when I was caught up in the world, I had girlfriends that was also caught up in the world. And when you have a girlfriend that's caught up in the world and, you know, they doing the same thing you're doing, getting high, you know, they're not truthful, like you not truthful. But when I met my wife, she was not caught up in this world. So I was blessed with a wife that didn't smoke, didn't drink, you know. She was upright in character. She just needed some knowledge, like I needed knowledge. And her devotion and her loyalty and her love for me was made me stay with her till this very day. I thank Allah for her. As a matter of fact, let me share this with you. In 1985, when I had the idea of this invention, it changed its colors. I shared it with her in the visiting room in Green Haven Correction Facility. And when I got out of prison in 91, I forgot all about it. But just like a woman can give you a child from a sperm cell, a woman can help you develop an idea into a reality. And that's what she did for me. She gave birth to an idea that I shared with her in 1985. And in 1996, 97, she said, honey, you remember that idea you shared with me when you was in prison about the portable light fixture? I said, oh yeah. She said, won't you try to produce it? Because they on TV, they just show different inventions coming on TV. And the bell rung right there. And I got the first patent for this light. And then I got this, me and my partner got the second patent for the car alarm, which will be out hopefully by the end of this summer. And the brother that got the patent for this watch, he already have that. So, you know, I know that inside those prisons are great minds, not only great musicians and great artists, but yet we have some of the greatest inventors in prison.
Yes,
just
sir.
Brothers like you and I to come back in there to help them to make it a reality. All praise is due to Allah. So until this very day, all praise to, I go into the Inventions, not only teach the life-giving teaching of Hon Elijah Muhammad, but also to look for those brothers that I can help exemplify their ideas that they may have that they need some help with. So don't undermine those who are in prison. The Most Hon Elijah Muhammad teaches us some of my best followers are in prison. Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a fact for sure. For sure. Okay, great. And Brother Minister, what do you and your wife do for fun?
Oh, my wife and I, we sing.
Okay.
You know, we've been singing all our life. You know, that's like our personal hobby, you know, but we like traveling, you know, we go out for walks. And we enjoy our grandchildren.
Mm.
Most of our grandchildren now are teenagers, you know, but we enjoy them and we just enjoy one another. Praise be to Allah.
Beautiful. Yes, sir. All praise is due to Allah. People are watching. Okay, and thank you everyone who continues to like and show love to our brother student minister.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir. Salaam. My next question for you, sir, is what has been your greatest trial outside of prison? What has been your greatest trial in life, and how have you overcome that trial?
Well, you know, trials is a part of healing. Trials is a part of Allah's way of bringing you from one level to another. One of the greatest trials that I experienced since my release is when I experienced one of my daughter having a baby. It was a still life. And I was there when she had the baby in the hospital, and she called me. I wasn't at the hospital when she had the baby, but she called me to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, she shared with me that her baby had passed away. And I went into the room where the baby was laying at, and I picked up my granddaughter, and I took her in a room and I prayed over her. And I prayed to Allah with her, hold her in my hands. And that was very painful for me. But that was one of the greatest trials that I have since being out of prison. My other greatest trial was when my wife got real sick and she lost a lot of blood and was taken to the hospital while I was working. I got a call that my wife was rushed to the hospital. And when I got to the hospital, the doctor told me, your wife is near death. She needs blood. During that time in 1997, the AIDS was out. I was afraid to allow her to have AIDS blood from the hospital. I didn't know what to do. So I called the palace because I wanted to speak to the Honorable Minister Min Farrakhan. A sister got on the phone. I forgot what her name was at the time. Forgot her name. And I shared with her what my wife was going through. I said, can you inform the minister, what should I do? The minister was at his dinner table. and told the sister, tell the brother that if he can't find nobody with no blood, let the hospital give her blood. And immediately when I heard that, I went back to the hospital. I mean, I was at the hospital at the time. I said, yeah, give her the blood. And a few days later, she got well. She was good. You know, praise be to Allah. So I wanted to call the palace. I called the palace again, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan picked up the phone. I thought it was one of the brothers at the palace. He picked up the phone, and I said, Assalamu alaikum. He said, wa alaikum assalam. And he said, this is Brother Minister Farrakhan. I said, oh man, I felt so elated to hear his words. And I shared with him that my wife is doing fine. And he said, brother, don't worry about it. She's gonna be all right. And that's been over 20 years, 97, 2000, that's been over 24 years, thank Allah. But the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan words helped me during a time of great trial in my life.
Beautiful, all praise due to Allah. Excellent, yes sir. Great, man, that's powerful.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's powerful, yes sir. And will you ever write a book on your life, sir?
Well, you know, my wife been on top of me for the last 20 years. I've been writing my book for the last, I got about 4 books right now. I just got to put it in book form. But I got a book on history. I got a book on sayings. I got short stories of my life. I just got to put it in book form. But inshallah, hopefully soon I have 4 books out. Praise be to Allah.
Man, praise be to Allah. And when you get the books, can you please, come back on people's podcasts?
Without a doubt, brother.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
I'd love to share with the believers.
Oh, praise due to Allah. Yes, sir. Brother Minister, what would you like your legacy to be?
Well, my legacy, I'd like for it to be like Sister Harriet Tubman. For those of us who did time in prison, especially those of us who did time in prison, to not forget those who you left behind in prison. Mm. Some of us come out of prison, we don't even want to write a brother. We don't even want to write a sister that's still locked up. But we might have did 20 years with a brother, 10 years with a brother in prison. My thing is this, one of the companies that we have is called Ohana. It's a Hawaiian name meaning don't leave family behind.
That's right.
So when I came out of prison, I went back into the prison because I knew what was in the prison. And I knew the teachings of the Most High Elijah Muhammad have the power to transform the minds and the hearts of those of us who are in prison. We may go to prison as a criminal-minded individual. We may go to prison for something we've done wrong, but the teachings of the Most High Elijah Muhammad have the power to transform, resurrect, redeem the Black man and woman. So I thank Allah for, being able to go back into the prisons. And I enjoy it to this very day. Right now, I don't go too much into the state prison. I go into the youth facility. There's one in the Bronx called Horizon. We have young men who are in prison from the age of 10 years old to 16 years old. We have another youth facility in Brooklyn of young boys from the age of 10 to 16 years old. I go in there and I talk to them. Somebody got to go back. So this is what I do on my volunteer work. I also communicate with brothers through email, through JPay. I communicate with about 15 brothers through email. I enjoy it, brothers, because I know what's inside those prisons.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I've seen what Allah has done for me, is doing for me. And if I continue to stay on this path, well, He will continue to do for me, inshallah. So I thank Allah for the Most Hon Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I thank them so much because they are the clearest example of resurrection for our people.
Beautiful. All praises due to Allah. And Sister Tracy says beautiful stories. The Ann Wood said all praises due to Allah. And people will continue to show you love. Well, I want to thank you all for watching. And thank you, Sister Tracy, for always showing love. And I want to thank you, Brother Minister, for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on to People's Podcast. For sure, you've given us some amazing information as well as inspiration this evening. May Allah continue to bless you. And I look forward to seeing your inventions all over the world.
Praise be to Allah. I thank Allah. I thank Allah so much. I thank you too, brother, for the work that you're doing.
Thank you, sir.
May you continue to do what you're doing, brother, because you are bringing to the world some of the greatest minds of the nation, the minds of our people coming from the Nation of Islam. And I want to thank Honorable Minister Farrakhan for his magnificent works in the last 60-something years I want to thank his wife, Sister Khadijah Muhammad, who's been there by his side from day one. Beside every Black man is a strong Black woman.
That's right.
Salaam alaikum.
Walaikum salam, sir. Thank you all for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off of the People's Podcast. There we go.